ready to hit the road. Fuck out of here. Market out here is terrible. They want you to run shit for, I don't want to say nothing. I mean, it's the point where it would cost me money to move their freight. After you figure fuel, most of the stuff is oversized. They capitalize the fact that there's not a lot of volume out here, so they lowball all the drivers, thinking they'll just take anything to get out of here. Well, I'm not going to be a part of the problem and take that stuff. If nobody would take it, they would raise the prices. They're still charging the shipper the same amount. It's not like, oh, good thing you guys are out located in Wyoming, we can get that freight moved for nothing for you. No, they're still charging there's national rates, like set rates. And it changes like the stock market. And when you start needing special equipment or tarping or whatever, that all adds to the price. And they will bill for that, but then they tell you in the description below, yeah, it's got to be tarped, it's got to be there this time, but they want to pay you if it was a partial run, which means they're lying, you know. They're very dishonest people, and there's a place for them. Yesterday, I had it booked since last week. I kept asking him, what's the submodel? What's the submodel? Would not tell me. Anybody that's hauled these dozers around, the weight can vary drastically. Well, sure enough, that one was the biggest submodel, and I was even still willing to work with him. I said, listen, we can still get permits to scale the weight. I can still get it done, but we got to talk about the money. They led me, I sat at the shipper for 3 hours, they led me on trying to negotiate a rate, and I waited there like an idiot. Another truck pulls in to get the same load, so they didn't even have the common decency to say, hey, we're going to get somebody else. They just sent another truck out, which means he agreed to run it probably for what I was originally supposed to run it for, which was too cheap to begin with. But I called and got a price on permits. I needed escorts in a couple areas, and that was going to run, I think, around $1,300. Probably spent $1,000 on fuel for the trip. drive this truck. Oversized is going to take you 2 days to get there for that mileage. They'd be digging in my pocket to pay the driver, and that's not covering anything for maintenance, insurance. We got truck notes or trailer payments. So why would I haul your freight? But what's sad is another trucking company is saying he names or put anybody out there, but you know, carting their freight out of Texas. And I had a gut feeling last week there's going to be a problem. Figure in how many miles I drove to get there, and I come up with the rate. If I was paying a driver, there's a rate there, and then there's an hourly truck charge. And that could probably add up to more than the run was supposed to be in the first place. But hey, maybe they'll stop wasting people's time. I mean, it's all right for them to waste your time and money. They don't want to be held liable for anything. Biggest complaint with trucking, you have all the liability, all the responsibility, which is fine, but nothing is in your favor ever. I don't care what the situation is, it's not in your favor. So by invoicing them, at least, you know, I can put on there the terms 30 days. If they don't pay it, I can deem it late, you know, up to 90 days. And then hell, submit it to collections, and maybe they'll just get sick and tired and just pay it. Or, at the end of the year, I don't get paid for it, and write it off. They want to, it's crazy. A couple years ago, if you show up to load something and you, for whatever reason, couldn't, or if it wasn't ready, they were paying out anywhere from $200 to $300 for a truck unused. These clowns yesterday were like, yeah, we got $100 for you. I don't know, I'm sure you people have left the house recently. You could go to the convenience store and spend $100. I showed up with over $250,000 of equipment, $3 million worth of insurance total, and you want to give me $100. Bad side about trucking, you lose your perception of money. And with the inflation today, I mean, we're all out here struggling, but half the time there's loose money in my pocket. It's like borderline trash. I just throw it in my book bag, and then one day I'm like, oh, there's some money in there. Because it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't put fuel in the truck. You can barely go in the store. It's almost useless. for that and bought some drinks for a few days for the truck, I could walk out of that one spot and spend $1,000. And how far does it get me? About 2 days.
But here's an example.
there was a run from Denver over to Indiana. It's like 1,200 something miles. They were trying to pay $1,400 to move it. All right. I'm gonna lease Deadhead over to like Omaha, Nebraska. I could load in Omaha, Nebraska, pick up similar freight, same weight and everything, and probably take it to the same area in Indiana and get more money than if I picked it up in Denver. So people will believe me when I say it pays to drive empty sometimes, and that's the case. You know, I'll drive I've deadheaded the whole trip before. You know, something's paying $6 a mile, it's 1,000 miles away. Hell yeah, I'm gonna go do it. I'll have 2,000 miles invested for $6,000. That's $3 a mile, and I drove empty half the time, so I got great fuel mileage. Why would I run around like an idiot at $2 or less a mile? And that's what some people don't understand. But times are tough, and I figured, hey, if I can find something that's light and that picks up right where I'm at, and it's taken to me a good area. Now Indiana is a good area, but I can start finding good freight as close as Omaha or like Des Moines, Iowa. I mean, hell, I go to I've seen runs on the board from Des Moines. 75-mile trip, $800. So why would I haul something 1,000 miles or 1,200 miles for $1,400? I could do a couple of them. Now it just sucks. I gotta drive probably 8 or 9 hours to get over that way, but it is what it is. That Wyoming wind blowing east, we're heading east, so I should be getting pretty good fuel mileage. Probably getting 9 miles a gallon or so, maybe more, I don't know. Quite a bit. And I got 3 different load boards I use. Checked them all. The only thing close I found that would have been kind of worth it, pick up some cars right there in that area. The problem was it was from residence to residence, and they were inoperable. One of my older rigs, I did have a winch on the trailer and all that, and that came in very handy. I need to get one on here. But after you call around and try to get like a tow truck to load you, it just, or it was already not that great of money. price gouge. Some don't. For example, I had to get towed. I was north of Casper, Wyoming a couple years ago. Kid showed up with a big old wrecker and towed me about 70 miles. And when he gave me the bill, I actually gave him more money and thanked him. Because, I mean, he could have charged me a few $1,000 and I would have had to pay it. This guy's like, yeah, it's $600. And I had a full load on my trailer. Like, that's someone out there doing fair business. When I did the motor and transmission in the truck, around New Year's, drove 5 miles on the road and the transmission went out, brand new. Someone forgot to tighten the bolts on the range selector, so the shift work basically fell out, lost all the gears. That guy quoted me almost $700 to go 5 miles. But once he towed me back to the shop and realized it's my truck, my trailer, me and a friend of mine were doing the work, he's like, "You got cash?" Yeah. He's like, "Just give me $400. Now that's cool. Well, on the flip side, I've called these local towing companies to load my trailer with, whether it be like a Bobcat or a car. All they're doing is showing up, tilting their bed, driving it on there, in this one case, and driving around the trailer. And I've got quotes for like $500-$600. Like, first of all, you're showing up with a little flatbed tow truck. It ain't like you're showing up with a 50-ton rotator and you need your $400 or $500 an hour to do some crazy rigging. Like, if you show up with the equipment, I mean, you got to make the money. I'm in the business, I know. With like $1 million tow truck, yeah, if they're not charging thousands of dollars an hour, why have that truck? Providing a service or selling a product, they set their prices. You know, when it comes to trucking, these brokers say, "Oh, that's what the customer's willing to pay." What do you mean? Like, how about I call my insurance company and say, "You know what? I know you guys want this amount, but I'm only willing to give you half." They're going to tell me to go F myself. You don't walk at Home Depot and say, "I really like that Milwaukee drill set, but I know you want $400 for it. I'm going to give you $175. See how that works out. they'll pick like 2 or 3 areas and just enforce the shit out of it. Whether it be brakes or tires or lights. It's up to them. They change it every year. They can actually write you a ticket if you don't have any pillows or blankets in your sleeper. It's bizarre. Seen another video, and the guy was he was spot on. He was like, "You want to know how you beat a DOT inspection?" And he was, yeah, there's sarcasm, but it's all true. He says, "You drive, yeah, go buy a new truck, and then you sell that one. That's how you beat a DOT inspection. You can have a brand new truck, brand new trailer, think you have everything that you're supposed to, and they will find something. Oh, your bed's not made. Ticket." Start setting up inspections. Hey, your roads are shit. Find the government. See how that works out. And I get it, you can't have people out here running trucks that are just a death trap. But some of these roads, guess what? You gotta fix it. chain. In my experience, they're all scams. They're all con artists. I got nothing good to say. Yeah, no, that was them great people down there. I was in Baytown, Texas. I replaced them already. I replaced them instantly. But still, I mean, at that time, I just bought the trailer. Just paid for all that stuff. I invested some money in these, it's an Italian lock called a Panzer lock, and then I have half-inch grade 100 square chain that runs through the ramps and through the frame on the trailer. Now, yeah, if you have a torch or a grinder, yeah, you can cut the chain, but bolt cutters ain't cut. Yeah, obviously they're not getting it done. And I'm going to hear a grinder or a torch running. But you're not picking the lock because the type of lock that it is, how it's keyed. Having you have to keep your equipment looking good. I mean, even when I had my old truck, my old Peterbilt, an old flatbed, I mean, the truck was a 92, my trailer was a 2001. I still kept it really nice. And, you know, people notice that. You take pride in what you do. I've been doing this 5 years in it. I haven't had any claims, no mishaps with freight. I might have had some pissed off customers from time to time because I didn't conform to whatever BS they wanted me to do. You know, delivering to some job sites and it's literally a mud pit. It's like, you know, I just spent you know, hundreds of dollars getting the truck cleaned or polished, whatever it is. I'm not running through that. Now I get it, there's like, I'm not saying a puddle, but I'm not romping off road. You know. So yeah, you get a little butthurt. But the sad part, the problem is like the people in the middle. They want to get done as cheap as possible, but then they're just more prone to having issues. You the freight gets damaged. You know, they're not there where they're supposed to be. And then they're like, they want to know why. Well, you had some idiot run it there. Scared to spend money. You know, 2020, I mean, people had no patience. They didn't care what it cost. They just wanted it. They wanted it yesterday. It was cheap to run, and the money was good. Mega carriers, you wonder how like some of this freight even moves for these prices. You know, they let's say when the fuel's down and they buy in bulk. I mean, they could buy literally a whole tanker of ship. When it's, you know, they get it for $2 a gallon. They can run their trucks at $2 a gallon consistently. They don't care if the fuel goes up. And when it comes back down, they'll restock. Step to fix the trucking industry is get rid of all the automatics. That'll get rid of half the idiots. anybody can put something in drive and go and set the cruise control. You put these same newbies out there that are driving these Freightliners, automatics, saying they're truck drivers, wearing flip-flops or whatever, playing on their phone the whole time. Put them in a standard transmission and send them to the Rocky Mountains. If they make it up. I mean, they'll make it down, just not in one piece. It's crazy. I'll be at truck stops, like polishing the truck, or sometimes I'm fixing something or modifying, added lights or whatever, and people first, old school people that are still driving, like, hey man, you alright, you need anything, assuming you're in some kind of trouble or broke down. That comes few and far between. The other people just mean mug you, like, what the hell are you doing out there? Or they look at you like you're this mad scientist. What's up, Crosland? Something's got to give in this industry. Sucks. Out that way was probably 2 years ago, a little over 2 years. I picked up in Pennsylvania, in kind of the same area where I picked this last load up at. It had a drop. I'm trying to think here. I think it went to Montana. But if you draw a line straight up from Wyoming, it was what I'm trying to say, it was probably the same distance. And it paid $7,200. It was 2 reels of cable for the power company. Now, I just hauled 3 parts out there for the same company for $2,200 less. Now, the fuel was a little bit more money back then. But still, that is 30%, some quick math, less than what it was paying, but everything else is up in cost. click because I wasn't hauling directly for the energy company. I'm just moving a crane for a company that might be doing work there. And when they put all those restrictions, all that work stopped. How's my son doing? Roscoe, get up. He's doing good. He don't care what happens as long as he gets food and let him sniff around a couple times a day. That town over there is called Dix. Where are you from? I'm from Dix. I know I'm a child. Montana has it's Butte, Montana, but just spelled butt. And then there's like, is it like, it's like crusted Butte, but it's like crusty butt? Like, what the fuck? Couple locomotives in the middle. I can't even see the end of it. They got 3 pulling up front, 2 in the middle. I'm assuming there's some pushing with